2 decades ago, you simply used the keyboard that came with your PC without giving it much thought. Today, however, we place significant importance on keyboards. Did you even know that a customized mechanical keyboard can cost well over $1,000? Fortunately, you don't have to spend that much to get a high-quality keyboard. For just $110, you can get the NuPhy low-profile mechanical keyboard, which we'll be reviewing in today's video.
By the way, I'll leave timestamps in the comment section below so that you just can skip ahead and go to the section you're most interested in. Inside the box, we have a USB-A to USB-C cable, which is quite interesting. You get also these switches to test for yourself what typing experience you like most. Unfortunately, you can't know before ordering the keyboard, but I'll try to demonstrate how these switches sound and the pre-travel to give you an idea how these switches feel like when typing on them. Furthermore, you get also these keycaps so that you can change the static looks of your keyboard. For example, that enter cap is red by default, but you can just switch it up into this mint green color. I'll show you in a second how that looks like. And eventually we have the actual keyboard, which in my opinion looks very aesthetically pleasing. It's lightweight, it's made out of plastic, but that's not a con in my opinion. It feels like a high-end quality plastic. To give you an idea how thick this keyboard is, I'll just measure that for you right now. As you see here, the sides are about 14.8 millimeter thick. The top is about 17.7 millimeter thick. And the bottom is about 12.2 millimeters. So as you see here, it's a low profile keyboard. And it weighs just above 1 kilo or 40 ounces for our viewers in the US. On the back of the keyboard, you have this glanced area with a film on top of it to peel it off. And that gives it just that final touch. It has also a transparent back so that you can see those switches. Like I said, I have the Cowberry switches and I'll demonstrate in a second how that sounds. So the NuPhy keyboard is both compatible with Windows and Mac, and you can use it wired or wireless, which is quite interesting for a low profile mechanical keyboard. In just a second, I'll show you how to connect this wireless keyboard to your Mac. It's very simple. You just have to click that FN button and the number 1. You keep clicking on it and that light will start flashing. After that, you go to your Mac, go to settings, Bluetooth, and find that NuPhy device and connect it to it. You have some keyboard setup assistant just to make sure that your Mac recognizes the keyboard, and after doing so, your keyboard is connected to your Mac. If you are a gamer, I highly recommend you to use this connector. It's a 2.4 gigahertz connector, and it has a polling rate for up to 100 hertz, which makes this keyboard a gaming machine. You can also connect this keyboard to a USB-C cable, which is my least favorite way of connecting a keyboard to a device, but hey, that's also a possibility. Something that's quite interesting about this keyboard is that you can connect it to 4 devices at the same time, which is something that Apple needs to learn from. If we take the Magic Keyboard, for example, that keyboard is able to be connected to 1 device at the same time. This one is connectable to your iPad and your MacBook at the same time, and you do so by just clicking FN. And let's say you have an iPad, you connect that iPad to number 2, for example. Now we've arrived at the part where I show you how to pull out those switches from the keyboard. I want you to be very careful here because you might damage those switches if you're not careful. But to do so, you use that tweezer that comes along with your keyboard and you pull it out. And this is how those switches sound like. I'll start with the mouse one. This is how the Wisteria sounds like. This is the Allo switch. And finally, the Cowberry switch. Okay, so now that I've demonstrated to you how those switches sound like, we came to the part where I show you some cool RGB lightning effects. To be honest with you, I don't feel much for those RGB lightning effects. I'll leave mine out, or at least very minimalistic. But this is how you can change them if you are bored of a lightning effect from time to time. The key here is the FN key. that key, you need to hold that key at all time. To switch between those RGB lights, you just hold that FN key and the left key, if you will, and keep looking for that RGB effect that you like most. So we now have the orange RGB effect, but I like this one more because this light or this effect will lighten up those keys whenever you type on a certain key. So that's quite a cool one. I might leave it on this one, but obviously you can change whatever key you like. If you want to take a screenshot, once again, you hold that FN key and click on the key next to the volume key. If you only click on that key next to the volume key, you can take a screenshot at a certain area. Another cool key combo is enabling or disabling the permanent battery level display. You do so by, once again, holding that FN key and clicking on that backslash. That RGB light will change into green, which means the battery level display will be disabled. If you want to enable it again, you hold the FN key and the backslash. The tricks on this NuPhy keyboard are like endless. You can go like hogwire via the key configurator. You can just do whatever you want with this keyboard, which makes it a versatile keyboard. That's something I really like about it. I'm not gonna do it in this video because it's not inside the scope of this video, but I'll make a future video where I'll show you how to make this keyboard rather more compatible for you and for your workflow. So stay tuned for that. That last key combo you saw me doing is factory reset the whole keyboard. So now it's not connected anymore to my Mac. All those configurations are not enabled on this keyboard. So if you want to do so, you just hold the FN and the left bracket key. You just keep pressing it for 3 seconds and the whole keyboard will be back into the factory reset. And yeah, that's basically it. I hope you've liked this video. Like always, give it a big thumbs up. Thank you so much for your support. I read all your comments and it's really encouraging me to just keep making these videos. Yeah, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.